I just got back from my trip to Roatán and I want to tell you guys everything about my trip, where I stayed, what I did, what I ate, what I liked, what I didn't like. So if you're planning a trip there, maybe this can be helpful for you. The hotel we stayed at was the Kipton Grand Roatán and the hotel was 11 out of 10. I loved it so much. When we go back to Roatán one day, we are definitely going to stay there again. It was located perfectly on the island. The beach in front of it was beautiful. I posted a bunch of videos of me being surrounded by a ton of fish, and that was right in front of the hotel. The beaches are public though, so you don't have to stay at the hotel to get that experience. We booked a bungalow and it was a really romantic room. I liked that they had an indoor and an outdoor shower. The outdoor shower was so cool. There was one morning where I looked up and there was a rainbow above me, and there was another morning where I looked up and there was an iguana chilling right above me. The staff there was super friendly. The food at the resort was incredible. First day that we arrived, we ordered a whole fish. Oh my god, it was so delicious. We ordered it again later in the week. In the morning, we ordered baleadas from their restaurant upstairs, and I had the baleadas for breakfast every single day. After I had those, I did not want to try anything else, and I came back to Austin and I searched for them and found them here. Oh my god, that's my new food obsession. They also randomly served the best fettuccine alfredo I've ever had in my life. I ate fettuccine alfredo every single day while I was there. It was so yummy. And the nights that we did try their other restaurant on the second floor, every plate that we ordered was amazing. Also, they have the best coffee. Every single morning I got an iced latte, and they make their syrups in-house. For this trip, I didn't know that Honduras is actually the #1 coffee exporter in Central America. Honestly, that's the best coffee I've ever had. It was so good. Okay, now on to the excursions and the things that we did. One of the excursions that we did was a sunset cruise, and if you go on the sunset cruise, they're very generous with the rum punch. Just stop and snorkel. Another thing that we did is we walked to West End, and we were told by the locals that the walk wasn't that bad, and honestly, we went in the middle of the day. It was a lot farther than I thought it was gonna be. There were parts where we were like really on the side of some rocks. It was quite the adventure, and it is only $5 or $10 per person for the exact ride to take a water taxi. I don't recommend doing that walk if you are like elderly, if you are disabled in any way. If you're super fit, go for it, but just know you can also take the water taxi back, which is what we did, and it was really beautiful views of the island taking the water taxi. One thing that we did that I loved is we did the ATV/dune buggy tour, and that was a lot of fun. We got to drive dune buggies through the jungle. They offered us to have 2 different dune buggies, but I just let my husband drive. Our plan originally was to switch off midway, but I was scared. I don't know why I was scared looking back on it. Like, while we were driving, I just had a fear that we were gonna flip over. I was like, ah, screaming the whole time, and it ended up being a lot of fun. I should not have been scared. I honestly should have drove, but definitely recommend that. Another thing that was included in our day trip was we stopped at the Roatán Rum Company, which is a place where you can buy little rum cakes or rum, and best purchase ever. Oh my god. We got a package of like 6 of these, all different flavors. Whenever you walk in, they let you sample all the different flavors. Look, my dog is like loving this. I am so sad that I only have 2 left. These rum cakes are so freaking delicious, and they make the best souvenirs. We gave a couple away, and if you're my friend watching this and you're going to Roatán, please let me know. I will give you money to bring me back some of these rum cakes. They're so good. Definitely worth the money. Also, I have one on my bookshelf up there. The little box makes such a cute little trinket. One thing is, part of the dune buggy ATV tour is included that we get to stop at the animal sanctuary on the way back. And this is one of the things that I honestly didn't like about Roatán. One of the only things is that there are animals there in captivity. Whenever I hear animal sanctuary, I'm picturing, you know, poor little sick animals that are roaming around on the island and they need help, so they got rescued and taken to a sanctuary. But that's not really the case. I did not realize before going on this trip that the government of Honduras is actually making policy changes. There's been laws that passed last year making it illegal to hold animals for tourism and picture purposes. They're trying to reduce the animals in captivity. I also did not know that that isn't really enforced. So if you go to the animal sanctuary, they let the monkeys crawl on you, jump on you, all the animals, they sit on your shoulder, you feed them directly. I did not know that was illegal before going. I think that as tourists, we would be supportive of not touching and feeding animals if we knew that it was against the law. Just kind of disappointing that that is not enforced. Same thing with one of the things that we did is we took a day trip one day to Little French Key. It's so beautiful. But one thing that really broke my heart, I made a video about this, was seeing the animals in captivity there. In Little French Key, you buy your tickets onto the island and it doesn't matter if you want to visit the animal sanctuary or not. That's just part of your ticket and you walk through it. In both of the animal sanctuaries, I don't think the animals are being abused. The staff, they interact really well with the animals. The animals are like well fed, but it's just the fact that they're in captivity. And in Roatán, none of the animals in captivity are native to the island. They were all brought from the mainland for tourism purposes. The more research that I've done after leaving, I just don't really want to support animal tourism. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I definitely have traveled to places before and interacted with the animals, and I just honestly didn't know better. So I hope by telling you guys my experience, maybe you can look into it too before you go, because that like really didn't feel right to see that. Back to our hotel, the Kipton. Things that I recommend bringing with you. I recommend investing in your own snorkeling gear. You can get it for pretty inexpensive, and I personally have used that a lot whenever I travel. I don't have the fins, but I do bring my own goggles and mouthpiece. If you're staying at the Kipton, they do provide all snorkeling gear for you. Another thing that I'm happy that I brought was my own little floaty. I have invested in like a couple cheap inner tube floaties that I bring with me on vacation. And whenever I snorkel, I like just putting the goggles and the mouthpiece and like floating on top. Another thing that really came in handy is I travel with one of those little handheld battery fans, and for some reason whenever our plane was leaving Roatán and it's sitting on the tarmac, it was so hot. Everybody was fanning themselves suffering. My little fan was amazing to have. Recommend bringing that. Another tip is you can walk down the beach and you can find people who are selling fish food. At the Kipton, there is a woman there every single day by the wall that goes out, and she offers massages, and you can buy fish food from her. There's also other people on the beach offering fish food, but that will make the fish come right up to you. I also recommend waking up early, and that's whenever the fish are just all out and no one else is there. Another tip that I have is if you walk down the beach, you can find a convenience store. You can buy alcohol and snacks for really cheap. You should do that on the first day of your trip. It is nice to have some cocktails at the hotel, obviously, but they are pricey. So if you buy your own alcohol and snacks, you can save some money. We bought our own little cups, which were nice souvenirs, but if you want to save some money, also bring your own cups. The people in Honduras are some of the nicest people I've met out of any country I've traveled to. Overall, the trip was absolutely amazing. Perfect beaches, amazing people, incredible food that I cannot stop thinking about. Honestly, I want to go back there just for the food, and highly, highly recommend Roatán. If you are planning your trip and you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.